Welcome to Last Friday. I'm Jack Harper.
And I'm Brady Stinnett. Welcome back to the Last Friday pod.
Welcome back to episode 4 of our podcast. Week in review. We're going to go ahead and get into the Charger review. We have softball first. Softball lost to South Panola and Pontotoc by 1 run last week. And then
basketball lost against Starkville in playoffs, so pretty heartbreaking for the seniors.
Yeah, tough loss there, but shout out to the basketball team on a great season. They had a great year. And then baseball beat Grenada for a school day game, which was awesome to see all the students come out and support at a baseball game. And then in review, last weekend, the baseball team dropped both games down in Mobile.
That was tough for the baseball team. It was 2 pretty good games at that, too. Both teams were pretty good, but ended up not victorious in those.
Yeah, tough one. But anyway, Brady, how's life been?
It's pretty good. The podcast, keeping things up, something to look forward to.
Yeah, is that just like all you do in your free time?
Pretty much. Just think about the podcast and live the podcast. There is nothing but this podcast.
So, Brady, what are your current thoughts since you're committed to Ole Miss to play baseball? What are your current thoughts on the team so far this year?
I think it's pretty early in the season. I think there's a lot of pieces still to be found. But I think the hitting's going to get better, pitching's going to get better, and overall everything's going to get better because, honestly, it's not just Ole Miss. Like, State's been losing. Southern's lost a game.
Vandy
Wake Forest has lost a game. Vandy's lost a game. Florida's lost.
Well, what's it called? I went to the game yesterday for, like, the back 4 innings since we had practice. And, like, it's not like we're playing terrible. We had 0 errors in the field. We're just hitting the ball right to people, So, hopefully we'll start to find the holes in the defense. But, yeah, that's my take on Ole Miss baseball. We'll be fine.
And then question for Jack Harper here.
Oh, gosh. This is off script.
How? Or actually, I'll say this. What is your favorite restaurant in Oxford?
Favorite restaurant in Oxford? I love Jinsei. But I feel like that's a very popular opinion.
Yeah, you can't say Jinsei.
Like, you can't say
Jinsei at Grillhouse, you can't say.
Yeah, like Jinsei. I like St. Leo. St. Leo.
Jack is actually repping the St. Leo shorts, sweatshirt, and hat right now.
Not? They don't even have shorts. That's a lie. I love St. Leo. It's a great restaurant. If you're like looking for good pizza, that's where I'd go. And then,
man,
I like Tarasque.
Tarasque is good.
Tarasque is awesome.
Chicken parm there?
There's like so many. Yeah, the chicken parm, the shrimp linguine, all that stuff's all really good. What else is there in Oxford? I mean, there's a lot of really good restaurants. I feel like
Nora's, bro.
I've never been.
It's so good. I think it's just the setting. The setting helps it.
I haven't.
There's like lights hung up.
Like I might have been there once, but I don't remember. So, all right. Favorite fast. Okay. If you like have to get food, it's lunchtime. You have to get food. You have 20 minutes to get it. Where are you going?
I mean, it depends like where I am. Like, am I going somewhere after? Or like you know what I mean? Because like there's like Chick-fil-A on this side of town. On this,
it doesn't matter. Like that. It
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Traffic is not a problem here.
Traffic's not a problem either.
Not a problem here.
I mean, are we counting Chipotle as fast food?
Okay. Yeah, no. I mean, you can get in and get out in less than 10 minutes. I'm a fan of Chipotle. What's
your go-to thing
for lunch?
Yeah.
Okay, if I go out, and I know my parents are listening, so they make fun of me for going out all the time. It's either going to be South Depot or I do go to Obie's a lot too.
That's so lame.
Obie's
is good, but like.
Well, the only reason I do like that stuff, I would go to the other side of town like Chipotle and stuff. But I don't feel like driving all the way over there.
I swear.
And then having to drive back.
We used to eat Obie's every single day. Like Thomas and all of them would be like Obie's.
Oh, Nukes.
Yeah, Nukes.
Nukes is always like a go-to. Like, yes, like always gonna be good. You can count on it. What's your favorite like actual restaurant in Oxford? Like if you had to sit down, like if you were gonna take Mary Love somewhere.
Shoot, I'm probably not taking Mary Love here. She hates it, but Ajax, bro. I'm a big fan of Ajax.
Mary Love, if you're listening, why do you not like Ajax? Why is he
Dude, last night I had the best. I didn't know it was a thing there, and then I finally got it. This is gonna sound so fat, but you just gotta trust me. All right, it's called the Big Easy.
Oh,
it's a bun, country fried steak, mashed potato, green peas, coleslaw, and pickles.
Lonnie,
if you eat this thing, you're gaining 5 pounds.
If you're listening, make Brady do 30 sessions of sledgehammer when he gets home after eating that thing. Seriously?
I do sledgehammer before.
Shout out Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer, I've done it once or twice. It's a great way to work out. All right, well, that's going to include our. Is that all for your secret question?
Yeah, that's all my secret questions.
All right, we're going to roll right on in.
Hold on. We did forget to ask Carson Schmelzer one thing. So if Carson's listening to this, how was your Riz at Sonic? Hold on, this is real life size.
All right, well, now we're back with our favorite segment of the week, Pas's Picks. Pas, how you doing, man?
Glorious. Good to be here.
All right, we're going to get right into a recap from last week. We're going to review everybody's record from last week. I came in first. Harper with a 6-2-1 record. Pas and Stinnett came in at a 5-3-1. And
scraping the bottom of the barrel for the week. Mr. Thomas Rayburn himself, barely squeaking by with a 500 record. Coming on here last week, slandering our picks, only for him to come and go 4-4 on the week.
4-1 for Thomas.
The tie is what saved him.
Now, the overall record, I think Stinnett's still in the lead by 1.
Yeah, I am, buddy.
And I'm in second, and Pas takes a commanding third place after this week. Well, we're going to go ahead and review Kings versus Bruins. Kings won this one. The Bruins fell after everyone picked the Bruins to win. Thoughts on the game, Pas?
Yeah, it seemed to be a pretty close match game like we thought, right? Okay, the Bruins probably gave up a couple more goals than they expected. I think the final ended up being 5-4, I believe. 5-4 in overtime. So a really tight game in the Garden there in Boston. But obviously the Bruins failed to get it done at home, which is something that doesn't happen often. But we fell on that one this week.
Sorry, you'll get them next time. Next, Oilers versus Stars. Everyone got this pick correct, so we're going to move right on. Hurricanes versus Golden Knights. Pas and Stinnett fell with the L here, but Harper and Rayburn with the clutch picks of the week to separate themselves, the Hurricanes.
That was the decider in the end. A lot of our picks were the same, and Harper went with the Hurricanes, and that in the end got him the win for the week.
You all hated on me on that.
The Golden Knights got out to a 1-0 lead after the first period, and then just decided that was all the scoring they were going to do.
All hated on
the Golden Knights absolutely sold us.
Yeah, they got us for that one. We'll be back.
Yeah, y'all made fun of me on that one. Yeah, y'all will learn.
First time I did my research on the Golden Knights, it was a for sure win for them. For sure win. And then they did this to me.
College basketball segment of the week. Last week we had Kentucky versus Auburn. A surprising game, actually. Kentucky ended up handling business down at Auburn. Thoughts on the game, really? Any thoughts?
Auburn seems to be a puzzle that no one can figure out. It's kind of as well as Kentucky, right? Yeah. Auburn's been dominant at home. I think this is their first home loss all year. Been not very good on the road, but then obviously Kentucky not been very good at home and just up and down all year, and then they go get a big win on the road in Auburn. So really a lot of unknowns with both of those teams, I think.
Yeah, that one kind of surprised me. Kentucky hasn't been playing great basketball. I guess they kind of found their game when they played Ole Miss last week. I guess that's just how everything goes. Yeah. But we'll see the continuing weeks how those two teams shape up for tournament play. Next, we had Texas A&M versus Bama. Bama took this one. And actually, all of us in the room, we picked Bama Rayburn.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy was thinking.
We don't even have to discuss him.
Must not have had his morning Red Bull before he shot this segment last week, but it is what it is.
Missouri versus Ole Miss. Same problem. All of us picked Ole Miss, Rayburn.
Lack of Red Bull.
Lack of Red Bull for Rayburn. Moving on into our first segment we have for college baseball, Tennessee versus Texas Tech. Tennessee would end up winning that game, and everybody here picked Tennessee. Duke versus Coastal. Everyone picked Duke. Now, I don't know why. Except for Rayburn, and actually that changes his record, does it not?
That sure does.
So, correction, Rayburn went 3-4. 3-5-1.
Good job, Thomas. Hope you enjoyed your one time on here.
I'm not gonna lie. That might put Rayburn in last place for the guest picker.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while.
New leader in the clubhouse for worst guest picker on this podcast history. Thomas Rayburn, everybody.
Not until your boy C.
Not until Carson. We have Carson on later. And then Ole Miss versus Hawaii series. Everyone ended up picking Ole Miss to win 3 out of 1. They ended up splitting the series even 2-2. Thoughts on the overall series, Paz?
Tell a two-game series, it seemed like, right? Ole Miss obviously battled back on game 1 to get the extra inning win. But we knew, being a long road trip, about I think 10 hours in flight time, we knew it'd probably wear on them late in the series. Obviously, I think everybody had agreed not their best showing those last 2 games, but also some positives to take out of it. I think the bullpen was very good. Looking at their stats, not many earned runs, but obviously defensively and offensively, they'll continue to get better.
Yeah, first weekend series of the year, obviously. Long flight, like you said. I mean, I agree. First 2 games, close games. Last 2, you look at kind of 2 not so close games. So we'll see how they bounce back this week. They have Arkansas State tonight, and then they got High Point in a 3-game series this weekend. Brady.
State lost to Austin P. Florida lost to whoever they played.
Yeah, I mean,
Wake Forest.
It's early in the year. I mean, losses are going to happen. I think everybody's just trying to figure out their lineups, their pitching rotations. I mean, it happens in baseball.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts for the Rebels early. We knew that, though. A lot of position players, some good young arms working their way in the bullpen roles. Mason Morris getting the start in the midweek. He was threw extremely well in relief, I think, in game 1. So excited to see what he does against Arkansas State moving forward.
I agree. And then Paz's play of the week now, 0 for 2. I can't believe it.
Yeah, this one cut me deep because I'm a big Volt fan. Looking good through round 1. We thought we won round 1 on the points. Good strong start to round 2, and then Tapuria just clipped it, knocked him out cold. But it is what it is. We will be better this week and looking for Paz's play to finally get on the board here in week 3.
There we go. Well, it's time for our week 3 picks. And we're going to go get right on into it. NHL, we're going to start out with the Wild at the Oilers. Paz, we're going to let you start.
All right. The Oilers, like we talked about last week, one of probably the hottest teams in the NHL, if not the hottest team right now. I think they're right at 17-2, 17-3 in their last 19 or 20 games after a terrible start. They're at home in Edmonton, but the Wild have been one of the NHL's best road teams. All right, so this one's a little tricky matchup, but I got to keep riding the Oilers train here. Okay, we're gonna go Oilers to win a close one at home.
Stinnett?
Yeah, I think with the Oilers on their win streak, Wild also a very good team after doing a little bit of research on them, but I think the Oilers are going to take this one home.
Yeah, Oilers 17-2 record. I think they're playing really good hockey right now. I'm going to take the Oilers at home.
Oilers are never a bad pick. Offensively, they're so explosive, like we talked about last week with Connor McDavid. He's going to get his points and get his guys involved, so I'm looking for them to make another strong push here.
Next up, we got Maple Leafs at Avalanche. I'm going to start out. I'm going to take the Avalanche at home. I'm going to take the home team on this one. Like we talk about all the time on this podcast, winning on the road is hard in the NHL, so I got Avalanche.
Yeah, I think Avalanche are going to take this one home. Maple Leafs are a good team, but I think the Avalanches have a better chance at this one.
Yeah, good pick. The Avalanche are tough at home. They're kind of iffy on the road. Some of the league's best players as well, a loaded roster. But the Maple Leafs are hot. They've got Austin Matthews, who's the lockdown favorite to win the MVP in the NHL this year. So not so fast, guys. I'm going Maple Leafs on the road. We're going Leafs on the road here.
Maple Leafs.
Yep.
All right, then.
This could be a Thomas type pick.
Hey, this could be the swing of the week.
Sounds like a Rayburn pick.
No, this could be the deciding pick right here.
All right. Next up, we got Lightning at the Devils.
Yeah, a lot of close matchups this week on the ice. Another really good game. The Lightning and Devils, both solid clubs. Not really any weaknesses anywhere on their team. I'm going to lean the Lightning here. I'm going to take the road team again. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. They played for 3 straight Stanley Cups leading up until just last year, I believe. A lot of veterans that have played in a lot of big games. The Devils are a good team, young team, but I'm going to go Lightning here.
Ready?
Yeah, the Devils are a pretty good team, but I think with the Lightning play for the Stanley Cup the last 2 years, I think the Lightning takes this one.
let's correct this. They have not played for the Stanley Cup the last 2 years. They played for 3 straight Stanley Cups.
My bad.
Like 2 years ago.
I read some that.
Bad research there.
Bad research from Stinnett there. But joke's on y'all. I'm going Devils at home. All right, Devils are going to take this
Andrew
one.
Thomas Rayburn.
I think Lightning. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll 3 periods of solid hockey, but I'm going Devils.
Can we go ahead and coin a new term for this segment?
Yeah. Anytime you make a
when we have just a cold take pick, we're just going to call it a Thomas take.
A Rayburn. No,
That's a Thomas's take.
Thomas's take.
A Thomas take.
All right.
Just horrible takes. Those are now Thomas takes.
I respect it. Moving on, college basketball. We got a slate of some games on here that I think are going to be really tough to call. We're going to start out with South Carolina at Ole Miss.
I got us, boys. I'll start us
All
off.
right.
Ole Miss has been really good at home, but at the same time, South Carolina's just a powerhouse this year. So I got South Carolina coming in and beating Ole Miss.
South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think South Carolina's been one of the bigger surprises this year in college basketball. So I'm going to go with South Carolina on the road here to get probably a pretty easy win at Oxford, unfortunately.
Yeah, South Carolina is a really solid team this year. The one that gets me here is Ole Miss has lost 1 home game this year. Ole Miss, and this is a must-win game. I know Coach Beard's going to have this team ready. My only problem with it is Ole Miss has not technically been playing great basketball. Mm-hmm. They've kind of been cold from the floor. Previously or earlier in the year. They were shooting the ball a lot better earlier in the year, and that's when you saw them winning against some of these better teams at home. I just don't know if they can pull this one out. But I think it's going to be a really close game. I think both teams are going to be fighting for their spots in the tournament, especially Ole Miss because you got to defend home court these days. I'm going to take South Carolina on the road. I think they're just going to overpower Ole Miss. Next up, we have Alabama at Kentucky.
I'll start this one. This is another tricky matchup. Alabama, obviously, I've picked them the last 2 weeks to win, and Kentucky's been a roller coaster. But I'm going to lean Kentucky again here. I'm going to take Kentucky to get back on track at home in Rupp Arena and get a big statement win just to remind everybody that they are still Kentucky and they are still one of the blue bloods in college basketball. So I'm going to take Kentucky to get back on track here.
Yeah, I think this one is just really a tough pick. Kentucky is, like we talked about earlier in this segment with the Auburn game, you go into Auburn, you beat a red-hot Auburn team, but like you look at Kentucky's previous games, they've lost 3 out of their last 4 home games. So this one's kind of – and Alabama is one of the best teams in the SEC. So you're talking about a really tough team coming in to Rupp Arena. I'm going to take Alabama on the road.
You're a horrible pick.
I think
Thomas take?
No, that's not a Thomas take.
Oh.
You can't tell me that's a Thomas take when Kentucky's lost 3 out of their last 4 home games. One of the wins was against Ole Miss, a team
know what
struggling.
some people would say? They're due.
They're due?
They're due.
Yeah, they were due against Auburn, and they got the win. But Alabama is also.
That's what I'm saying.
Take a
Alabama
red hot.
might be
That's
due.
a Tommy take.
That's what I'm saying. I got Alabama. That's not
Well,
Kentucky will win this game.
Cats by 90.
Cats by 90, baby.
That's by 90, apparently. Drake fan over here. Anyway, next up we have Texas A&M at Tennessee. Brady, you can start us off on this one.
On this one? All right. At Tennessee. Tennessee's a great home team, and I don't really even know much about Texas A&M basketball, so I got Tennessee winning this one.
Yeah, I'll go next here. I think, A&M's a team that plays really well against really good opponents and really bad against the lesser opponents. I'm going to take Tennessee at home only because I think Tennessee's a really good home court advantage, has a really good home court advantage. A&M, they've kind of slowed down a little in terms of how good they're playing. I'm going to take Tennessee to win at home here.
Yeah, well, it was A&M that lost to Vandy last week, right?
Yeah.
So that's a bad loss for A&M.
That's a really bad loss.
I'm going to lean Tennessee here. They're just so good defensively, and like we talked about, I think the home court advantage will be the extra factor here that'll drive the Volunteers to a big win. I don't see this one being particularly close, so we're going to go with the Vols here.
Yeah, good pick. Moving into the college baseball world for weekend 2, you should say, of games. We're going to start out with a series pick for ECU at North Carolina in a 3-game series.
Yeah, Battle of the Carolinas here, right? 2 ranked opponents, obviously somewhat of a rivalry series here early in the season. East Carolina and North Carolina. I'm going to go with the Tar Heels here. I think they're going to take 2 of 3. I don't know if a sweep is the most realistic thing. I think they're obviously good enough to do it. But like we said, somewhat of a rivalry here. I always think it's kind of tough to sweep your rivals, but I'm going to take the Tar Heels to take 2 of 3 at least.
Yeah, I think the Tar Heels are going to take 2 out of the series this week. ECU is a great team always, powerhouse every year. But North Carolina this year with Vance Honeycutt stepping up, I think they're going to take this series 2 out of 1, 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of with y'all here. I think at North Carolina, I think both teams are really good this year. I think both teams are going to be great tournament teams by the end of the year. I'm going to take North Carolina 2 out of 3 here as well.
Yeah, and if you hadn't had the chance to watch North Carolina play, like Brady said, Vance Honeycutt is just very fun to watch. Possible top 10 pick in this year's draft. He's going to hit 20-25 home runs this year. Great athlete. But also Coach Godwin, an Ole Miss Rebel that's kind of taken over an East Carolina program. He's done a great job talking about another team, kind of like Duke and Coastal last week that we talked about. East Carolina's always in the mix there at the end, trying to punch their ticket to Omaha. And don't expect anything else from them this year.
Next up, we got a 1 game, a single game, so not a weekend series. Iowa versus Auburn.
I'll start here, boys. Iowa is a really good team this year, but at the same time, Auburn's a powerhouse, so I got Auburn.
What game is this? Is this a
on
Friday?
Friday.
Friday?
This would be game 1 in the series.
So this is going to be Iowa's ace. They're going to be throwing.
I would assume.
Oh,
yeah.
So I thought this was a midweek game.
No, so this is
Friday.
A Friday. It's probably one of those.
It's like a round robin type deal.
Okay, I'll say this. I think if Iowa throws the Brett guy, I think Iowa takes that one just because, his first game, he threw, I think it was, 4 innings, 11 Ks?
Yeah.
So I think Iowa
Yeah,
takes
I'm going to go
game.
next year. I think Iowa's ace here is going to overpower Auburn. I think it's going to be a good game, low-scoring pitching duel. But I think, Iowa, if they can scrape away with 4 or 5 runs here, I think they take the win.
Yep. Agree. I'm going to go Iowa here as well. They're playing this game in Jacksonville. It's kind of one of those baseball classics to start off the year, so not a series, but a good matchup here. Auburn unranked, but obviously they're 4-0 off to a good start. And another team, Butch Thompson, ever since he's gotten there, done a great job. Had him in Omaha, I think, at least twice in the last, I believe, 8 years. But I'm going to take Iowa, assuming that Brody Brecht's on the mound. Obviously, fastball that gets up to 102, 103, that's going to be hard to handle. And obviously, we'll get an up-close personal look at that here in a couple weeks when they come to Oxford. You can tell that Iowa scheduled a pretty tough non-conference schedule, getting ready for the Rebels coming up here soon, but we're going with the Hawkeyes as well.
Yeah. Next up, we have a 3-game series on the weekend, UCLA at TCU.
Another ranked series here. TCU, ranked 5th currently, but kind of squeaked by in some tough wins this past weekend. But I do look for them to stay on pace here and win the series versus UCLA. I don't know a ton about UCLA coming into this year, but if they're like they have been in the past, you'd expect them to have a pretty good pitching staff moving in, and then an offense to back that up. But we're going to take TCU here again. I don't know if a sweep is the most realistic thing here, but I do think they'll take 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think TCU is going to win 2 out of 3 here. TCU had 2 of the craziest comebacks in the opening weekend baseball that you've ever seen. Peyton Tolley, he's a transfer from, I think it's Wichita State, like 95 on the mound, hits yaks. Got to watch him in a conference tournament last year. So I think TCU is going to win the series 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and those comebacks can tell you a lot about a team. I'm going to agree with both of y'all here. I think TCU is going to take 2 out of 3. I don't think they're going to get the sweep. I'm pretty sure on that one. I think UCLA will scrape away with 1. I couldn't tell you which night it'll be, but I think TCU will take 2 out of 3 at least at home.
Yeah, and Peyton Chotnier having immediate impact for the Horned Frogs. I think he scored the walk-off run on was it a pass ball, strike 3, and then the catcher threw it in right field or something, and so he walked it off, and then I think he hit 2 home runs in Saturday's game. So obviously that transfer looking good for him so far. He's off to a good start, but that'll be an interesting series to keep an eye on.
And now,
here we are. My fate awaits me.
Fate awaits.
Week 3, Pasa's play of the week. We're 0 for 2.
What you got?
We're 0 for 2.
All right. What you got this week?
pressure's on this week.
You got
A lot of pressure. I feel the pressure.
You
here.
got to get.
We
this
can't
right.
let the fans down.
You got to
okay?
get this right. All right.
So if you're out here listening, give me another chance. Third time's the charm here. We're gonna stay in the UFC. Okay, we're gonna stay in the UFC. All right. We got a big fight card in Mexico this week. All right, big main event. We're going to Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez fight. Okay, 5 rounds. Rematch. Last time they fought, Ortega popped his shoulder out of place. He's been on the shelf ever since. He's back. All right, guy. Challenged for the belt a couple years ago. Getting a lot of criticism for not fighting a lot, but he's back. Ortega versus Rodriguez. I'm taking Rodriguez. We're going Yair Rodriguez to win this fight. Okay, we're going Yair Rodriguez. Last fight was against Volkanovski as the champion. Didn't go well for him. Okay, but it doesn't usually go well for people other than when I pick Volkanovski on Pasta's Play of the Week. All right, but we're going Yair Rodriguez to get Pasta's Play of the Week on the board this week.
Look, now I'll say this: I like Pasta's Play of the Week, but if you get this wrong, we might have to change the segment.
If we
to
get this wrong,
Stinnett's
it's just
Play
gonna.
of the Week,
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Harper's
just
Play of the Week.
let the winner of the week pick the next play of the week.
Like that.
Over 3. That's where the line. That's where we draw the line.
Over 3.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, another great week with Coach Paz here. Thank you for coming back on for your segment, and we will see you next week.
Can we go to more bonus picks?
You want bonus?
Yeah,
picks?
let's go bonus picks.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Friday night. Okay, tonight we have the Oxford Chargers traveling to the Center Hill Mustangs. All right. Obviously, some familiar matchups here. The Chargers played the Mustangs in a playoff series two years ago. Played them, I think, 3 years in a row now. All right, so I'm not going to pick this, okay, but I'm going to put you two on the hot seat, and we'll get Smelly Burger's pick here in a little bit. All right, okay, but y'all are going to pick Chargers or Mustangs.
Chargers.
Chargers
by 90, baby.
Chargers by 90.
There's your bonus one. I figured that pick was coming. All right, here's another game. All right. I think I know all these picks. All right, I hope I do. Saturday, big game at Oxford High School. 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock start. Varsity starts at 2. Got a big-time program coming in here. We got Oxford versus MRA. The Chargers went on the road last year to play MRA. Saw some great arms. Our guest picker actually hit a 3-run bomb in this game. Okay, huge shot. Shot in the arm for the Chargers at the time. Okay, so we got Oxford versus MRA. Okay. Two really good programs, two teams that are always competitive towards the end. You know, MRA's played for a couple of state championships in the private school sector of Mississippi the last couple of years. So we're going Chargers or Patriots.
Who's MRA? Who's MRA?
Look, I'll say this. This was a fun game last year. You know, I think a lot of guys, obviously we know a couple guys down there, but y'all forget Carson's the mayor of Madison. So Chargers all day.
All right. We won't pick this, but a little advertisement, a little shout out. Next week, big week in Oxford baseball. Okay, all right. We got Crosstown Classic starting up. Chargers have won the last 2 series that I know of. I think it dates back a little further than that, but we haven't swept Lafayette in a while. Okay, that's the challenge to the squad this year. Be the team that sweeps them. Okay, all right. So if you're listening out there, okay, we open up the series. I believe next Tuesday at home, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's home away home.
Yep,
right?
Yep. So 2 of 3 will be at our place. If you get bored Friday night and want to take the long drive over to Lafayette, be there, be loud. Crosstown Classic Series starting up next week. This will be before our next episode comes out. Let's get going.
Let's do it. Well, yeah, those are our extra picks for the week. But anyway, this has been week 3, Pasta's Picks, and we want to thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you, John David.
And try to avoid those Tommy takes out there, listeners.
Avoid the Tommy takes. I will see you next week, Pas.
All right, see you.
And here today, we have C. Smellenberg, Carson Schmelzer with the
guest picker, Mayor of Madison. How you doing,
this
Carson?
is the man.
Hey! He finally made it on the podcast. How you doing, Carson?
I'm good.
Hey,
Thanks for having me.
How you doing, beautiful boy?
I'm great.
Anyway, Carson, we're gonna get right on into it. You're the guest picker for the week, and so we've already had our segment with Pas. We're just going to go right into the slating games with you. We're going to start with the NHL. We got Wild at Oilers.
Taking the home team, so I'll go Oilers.
Oilers? Any background?
No, I don't watch hockey.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So then we'll roll through this segment.
Over.
Maple Leafs at Avalanche. Who you got?
Actually, I'm going to go upset. Maple Leafs.
Ups. All right.
I don't know if that's
Hey, you and
considered an
Posse.
upset.
You
but
and Posse. You clearly got
I've heard of them, so they must be nice. Nice with the skates.
Lightning at Devils. That's our third game on the site.
We'll go back with the home
Team taking the
Devils.
Devils. That's what I'm talking about. Me and you both.
Yeah.
Me and you both.
Can't go against them, man.
All right, now we're going to move into probably a segment that you know a lot more about, college basketball. The first game is South Carolina at Ole Miss.
Going with the Rebs at home. Got to.
All right. That's it.
I will say you are the
That's
first
it.
person to pick the Rebs.
You are the first person to pick the Rebs on the segment. So
This could be a Tommy.
who
pick.
knows? Is it? Nah, I want to go that far. I want to go that far.
Going against the Rebs at home is crazy, though.
Yeah, they are. They've only lost one game, but they've been playing bad basketball. That's
That
my
is
only
true.
thing.
That is true.
A Missouri team.
Beard will
lost
have
some-
them ready, though.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said, tournament coming up, we got to win at home. So
Exactly. Must win.
must win. Next up, I think this is going to be a tough one. Alabama at Kentucky. Two of the
Alabama's
top
looking good
teams.
this year, but I'm going to go Kentucky. Rob
Taking
Dillingham
Kentucky.
has a great game. Calipari's
Taking
going to have them
Kentucky.
boys ready.
Taking Kentucky. All right. I respect it. Texas A&M at Tennessee.
Tennessee, no doubt. Dalton Connect, too much offense for
Yeah,
Texas A&M Aggies.
that's what we said. Texas A&M just playing bad basketball right
They
now.
got Wade Taylor. He's tough, but still going with the balls.
He's tough.
Going with the balls.
All right, moving right on into college baseball. We're rolling through it. ECU at North Carolina in a weekend series. You're gonna pick the team that you think is gonna win the series and
I'll go
either sweep.
East Carolina 2-1.
East Carolina.
Ooh,
First
one.
person to pick ECU 2-1. All right. Any reason why? You got
They got the Ole Miss staff up there, right? They got
Cliff Godwin.
they got Lartigue up there now.
Yeah.
That's my guy. Can't go against them.
I mean, yeah, both ranked teams. I think it's gonna be great. Like we said, it's gonna be a great series. But you're the first person to pick ECU. We'll see how that works out. Iowa versus Auburn. Now this is a one game. They play one game over the weekend,
What is
and
it?
it is a Friday night game. So Iowa's ace is throwing the guy.
Iowa's ace is 98 to 101.
Yeah. So
Yeah, all right, we'll go Iowa then. Got a good feeling about that.
Iowa sweeps the board on takes this week. UCLA at TCU in another series. So same thing we did with ECU versus North Carolina.
UCLA is always strong, but I think I'm gonna go TCU.
We know you're a big
TCU 's
TCU
stronger
fan. Now you want to tell us your
Peyton
backstory?
Chatney,
You want-
can't go against them. He's just that guy.
Hold up. Now, ever since 2014, Carson, ever since TCU
Yeah.
destroyed Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl, you've been a huge TCU
I
fan.
think I've been a TCU
And
fan
there is
before
a
that,
picture
though.
of you in a TCU sweatshirt.
Yeah. So, tell us why.
What do you mean?
What
What do you
connection?
mean?
What connection do you have to TCU that makes you just a horned frog?
I don't know. I've just always seemed to enjoy watching their
After-
athletics.
After the Peach Bowl.
No, I think before the Peach Bowl, really.
So going into that game, you're cheering for TCU.
No, but they've still been mine. They've just been on my mind with great
On my
college programs.
All right. Now these picks aren't going to go against your record. It is just games we decide to put on here because they will be coming up after this podcast is released. High school baseball, Oxford at Center Hill Friday night. Who you got?
I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers on that one, but
Good pick. Now that we know this game means a lot to you. We have the mayor of Madison. On the podcast. We got Madison Ridgeland Academy, MRA,
Who's Amari?
coming to
Simple
town.
as that.
Coming to town. We know you.
they got some guys. I know that. And grew up with a lot of them boys, but can't go against the Chargers, man.
Can't go against the Chargers.
I don't think, honestly, love the Patriots, but just don't think they're that strong this year. I think we'll handle them pretty well.
All right, now for our own personal questions.
Yeah, now on personal. First off, talk about your baseball season. How you think it's been going, or
I think I've been seeing the ball well, but just need stuff to fall.
Yeah.
And then Been feeling good
Yeah.
at the plate.
Now, last weekend, trip to Mobile, obviously.
Need to get better in the field. been working on that in practice.
Hey,
with Coach Hockey.
big grinding. Well, we took a trip to Mobile, we played 2 games. We ended up dropping both. But overall, the point was, to find our team, do team bonding. What was your favorite part about the Mobile trip last week?
I'd say just spending time with the team, honestly. Just getting to know everybody. Bus rides were always fun. And just connecting with everybody on a deeper level.
Yeah, you spend 5 to 6 hours on a bus with a bunch of guys. You
see or hear a few things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out Hot Tea by Goose. Harper's favorite song.
Oh, yeah. Hey, shout out the song. Well, okay, now another question. Whole season in front of you, what are you most looking forward to in terms of senior year? This is, we don't know yet. You haven't decided what you're doing for college. Could be your last year playing baseball, maybe not.
Could be. I'm
Um,
looking forward to region play and playoffs, of course. So just getting to play those teams.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
Brady, any questions?
All right, what's your favorite restaurant in Oxford? That's all I had to ask you.
I'm going to go with the Grill House.
Grill House?
Well, okay, what would you order at the Grill House? Like, what's your
steak,
go-to?
Chicken tenders, fries.
Hey, do you not know different types of steak, like filet or
Filet,
New
bro.
York strip? Okay.
Filet.
You're a filet guy? What
Yeah,
are
or
you?
Jinsei.
Rare,
Get some
medium rare?
wings. Like a medium guy.
Ooh.
No, I know you're a medium well guy.
I used to be, but now it became
Wild.
When I was a little
That's wild.
Harper's a well done guy.
well done isn't crazy. though.
Medium
I've
rare.
had it
Well
before.
done isn't crazy.
Isn't
I've had it
crazy.
before. I've had it before.
That's a Tommy take. That's a Tommy take. Right there. Well done. He likes
It
his
isn't crazy,
He likes
like-
his steak like his hamburgers.
medium rare is just too
Do
like.
you use
Medium
A1
rare.
steak sauce or ketchup?
No, he uses
No.
ketchup.
No,
Guys, if you don't know
That was
Carson,
that guy.
Carson won. Wait, don't
That guy
you do
uses
ketchup with turkey?
What?
What?
I could have sworn you said that.
No, if you
Maybe
know
when I was
Carson,
younger. Maybe when I was
Carson
younger.
has ordered chicken tenders at a steak restaurant before.
That is true.
Probably it has happened, but
That is true. All right, now another question. If you had like one dream vacation, you can go anywhere, where would you go and why? We need an in-depth why.
I go. That's just lame, bro. I go to Bora Bora.
Why?
Dude, it's just a nice place. Where should I go on my honeymoon? Probably Bora Bora.
Honeymoon.
Oh, so you're getting married soon.
Going
Not
on your
saying
honeymoon.
that, but
To who?
to be determined.
Well, anyway, Carson, we want to thank you for coming on the podcast this week and being our guest picker. You can add Carson on Snapchat at CarsonS_1.
Thanks for the shout out, man.
And so go add
Had
him.
a great time
And
with Last Friday Pod.
you're never coming on here. So enjoy the time you had on here. Well, anyway, that's going to conclude our podcast this week. We want to thank you all for tuning in. And as always, we'll see y'all next week.
This episode was sponsored by Miss Cheney.